All right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. I certainly appreciate it. This is an impromptu. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. I'll be saying hello to everybody in chat in just a second. This is an impromptu Q&A. I was not planning on doing a Q&A today. I was actually in here filming. Right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Stupid. I was actually filming for a couple of other videos that I'm working on. One for Our Family Plays Games and a segment on their Voices podcast. I was working on that earlier today, and then I was also working on the preview video for the intro and outro for the preview video of Philharmonics. So that's why I have the lights set up in here, and that's why I have stuff going and all that other kind of stuff. So this was truly an impromptu video. I was planning on trying to get a solo playthrough done today, but I got a little bit behind on the other videos, so I needed to kind of work on those. And some news hit today from the Dice Tower that there is a stretch goal of $380,000 on their fundraising campaign. And if they hit that goal, we will be a thing. And that means I'll be going back to the Dice Tower on a part-time basis. Now, with that having been said, let me go ahead and get to some of the things here. Ryan C. is here. Ryan Moore is here. Up in here. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Dan Noble is here. Dice Tower, crazy news today. You are correct. Two Ryans make a right. Two Dans make a left then, maybe? I don't know. Dan Noble, LOL, what is happening? What is up? Hopefully it is not an exclusivity thing. I like FOBG channel greatly. Thank you for that. I'll get to that one right now, Ryan. It will not be an exclusivity thing. It will be truly a part-time thing, and we'll get into what Tom and I have discussed. It's really not anything that he hasn't already said on the update, but just to provide some clarity and so forth. So generally speaking, it is not an exclusivity thing where anything that I make is going to be put up on the Dice Tower. That's not it at all. There's a certain amount of videos that I'll be doing for the Dice Tower each week and each month, and that will be it. And then everything else that I do here on the Flipside will be still my own. And the Flipside is going to continue moving forward. There are definitely things that we have that are not really irons in the fire yet. They haven't quite made it to the fire yet. They're simply irons that are kind of sitting there, and we're stoking the fire as it were, to try to put those irons into the fire for the future of both the Flipside and some other things that we really haven't talked that much about on a wide basis. So there are still a lot of things that I want to do with the Flipside, and there are more things coming in the future, hopefully. So that's what I'm going to continue working towards for the Flipside. But as I'm doing that, a lot of the things that those do are not really money-making things. And Jesse and I were actually talking about, up to a month ago, that I need to start maybe looking at getting a part-time job here in the Valley, so that I can start contributing a little bit more. Some money has been coming in. There's been a lot of people that have been very generous with donations and support and that type of thing, and super appreciative of all of it. But it's such that the number of views. I'm not a marketing guru, so I'm not really doing a very good job of proliferating the fact that the Flipside exists. I was even on the Dice Tower cruise, and more than once people came up to me and they did not know that I had my own channel. So again, I'm just not very good at marketing. I'm not very good at getting the word out. I don't know all of those different channels. I'm kind of learning things as I go along, and I'm learning slowly. So long story short, the Flipside is going to continue going, but while it's still in its kind of infancy stage, while it's still growing and attracting hopefully new supporters, I'm going to be able to hopefully, and again, this is all predicated on if they reach that 380 grand. Now, I know that they've done much more than that in the past, and there's no reason to think that they won't miss it, but As I was telling Roy earlier today, I'm just not counting my chickens before they hatch. You know, I'm kind of trying to take that mentality. If they reach that stretch goal, then I'll be coming on as a part-time Dice Tower employee. Now, what that means is that only part of my time is going to be devoted to doing things for the Dice Tower. The rest of my time is going to be devoted to keeping the Flipside going. I'm very much hoping that will not. I'm very much hoping that will mean that everything that I'm doing for the Flipside right now will be able to stay, and that we won't see a dip in content being released on the Flipside. And I'm pretty sure with what I've talked to Tom about, I'm pretty sure that that's going to be possible. It'll mean a little bit more work, but cool. I'm not worried about that at all. So that is pretty much the long and the short of it. We'll get into more of the details in a little bit, but that's the answer to your question there, Ryan. We're not talking about exclusivity or anything like that. I mean, even things like the fact that Game Toppers is a sponsor of Flipside, that's not going to change either, even though All Play is sponsoring the Dice Tower. We're not worried about that. Tom's not worried about that. That was one of my first questions because me supporting Berkey is really important to me. So I'm not going to be. I don't have to stop doing any of that kind of stuff. I don't have to drop any of my or any of the Flipside's sponsors. I don't have to do that. This is non-exclusivity. This is simply, honestly, and I mean this truthfully and honestly and from the heart, this is a godsend because, as I was saying earlier, Jesse and I were talking about this just, up to and including a month ago, and we were talking about me needing to get another job, a part-time job at least. She was very adamant that she wants me to continue doing the Flipside. So getting a part-time job that would allow me to continue doing the Flipside is what we were looking for. And we were looking for it here in the Valley. We were not looking for it anywhere else. I didn't contact any other publishers. I didn't even contact the Dice Tower. I didn't contact anybody about this. This is just something me and her were talking and praying about together. So when I got the call from Tom, it was... it was something else because it was not solicited. It was not, I didn't go asking for it. It was just something that kind of plopped in our laps, and I couldn't be happier. So that's a really cool thing, and we're looking forward to what that means for our future, because what it means is that I'll be able to stay here at home. Oh, Strider. Working on Dice Tower stuff and working on Flipside stuff, and I'll be able to keep doing the things that I enjoy and keep trying to grow that channel. So, or this channel rather. So that is what's going on. Robert Harris says, Dice Tower part-time, yes, must make this happen. Well, there's only one way to make it happen. That's just to make sure that that $380,000 goal is met. And so there you have it. Vanessa's here. Good to see you. Quit playing games with my heart. I don't know what that means, but okay. Hello, Sam and everyone. Zex to us here. Good to see you. Vanessa G, nice shirt. Thank you for that. This is a gift from Jesse. It's one of my favorite shirts. I have another one that has like a blueprinty motif on it with all of the different starships in Star Wars. So I used this shirt and the other one as my dress-up shirt on the cruise. So that's pretty cool. Let's see here. Mel's Board Game Room. Melanie, good to see you. Miss Barr, good to see you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And Jesse is here. Hello, Jesse. Will be so cool to have you join us on OFPG. Yes, it is going to be a cool episode. I love Mick and Starla. They're great people. Their joy and their passion is infectious. Just being around them, you're instantly in a good mood. That's been my experience with them. I've only met them once at a convention, specifically Grand Con, and I was able to spend some time with them, and they are a blast to be around. So I'm very happy, and I'm very honored that they have seen fit to include me on the Voices podcast. So thank you for that. Let's see here. Ryan Moore, I'm now seriously debating watching this video or going on a Backstreet Boys karaoke spree right now. Wow, let's see how I fall there. Me or Backstreet Boys? Interesting. Jeremiah Custer, this news has got me so hype. Go back to the Dice Tower Kickstarter, everybody. Jim Pridgen, greetings from Tantrum Con. Super cool news. Thank you, Jim. I actually have been kind of keeping it on the DL because this is something that Tom and I were we had a lunch meeting. We talked about it during the cruise, and he called me with the offer. Well, he texted me the offer about a day after we got back. So I kind of knew it was coming, but we didn't really know exactly when or how it was going to happen. So I wasn't really able to talk about it. Terrier Halo says, "Hey Sam, off to bed. Hope they reach the stretch goal. Also, really nice shirt. I'm jealous." Thanks, Terrier Halo. Appreciate that. Let's see here, Vanessa. The return of throat punch lunge ? Well, I am going to be doing a segment for Smorgasbord, board game Smorgasbord. So that is one of the things that is part of the contract, so to speak, that Tom and I have talked about so far. I'll be doing one review a week for the Dice Tower. I'll also be doing contributing to their Smorgasbord variety show, and then I'll also come up with another series of my own that will be something that I put on their channel. So we're talking about basically 2.5 videos a week, and that's about it. Everything else that I do will be here on the Flipside. So, and of course, I'll join them with other things, possibly. I don't know exactly what. I'll show up at other Dice Tower events and so forth every once in a while. But generally speaking, part-time job is exactly what it means. It's just part-time. I'm not full-time with them. It will not be where I have to stop doing the Flipside. It'll just be something that helps me continue doing the Flipside, frankly. So it's a really cool thing. Jonas Prime, hello Sam, God bless you. Looking forward to hearing what's going on. That is good news. I love the Dice Tower, but feel like without your input, they are not as good as they could be on war games. Well, honestly, Dave, I appreciate the sentiment that's there, and I do. But they've been rocking it ever since I left, and I cannot say. I mean, the channel has truly grown since I've left, and that is an awesome thing. So don't get me wrong, I am not. They've never been war gamers, and frankly, I've never really been a war gamer. War gamers, in my opinion, are the ones that are just playing those advanced squad leader and all this, those little chit based things. Those are so. Conflict games, I guess, would be a better way to put it. But even then, they like their share of strategic conflict games. So that's neither here nor there. So I appreciate the sentiment that you're saying there, Dave. But at the same time, I think they've really done well after I left. So that I don't believe is something that is part of the reasoning, and frankly, I'm not questioning the reasoning. Tom and I have always been really good friends. We've been friends since college, since well before the Dice Tower was a thing, and I think that's part of what's at the core of this. I don't think he thinks anything is missing from the Dice Tower. I think that part of his ideology is probably, and again, this is me kind of thinking about what he might be doing, so it may or may not be accurate. But maybe he's also thinking that my involvement with the Dice Tower will also help the Flipside grow as well. So I think there's a lot of positives on both ends of the stick there. I don't think that I definitely don't think that they're bringing me back because there's any kind of dip on their end of things. They are growing and they're getting bigger and bigger, and they're doing a great job doing it. All of the people that are there make some really great content. They don't need me. If that makes, is that the right way to articulate that? I don't know. And I think I'll probably benefit more than they will, but I'll work and I'll do the best I can to try to make that as least inaccurate as I can, because the more they benefit from my presence, the better it'll be, I think. But I don't think they need me. That's not what this is about. I think this is more just Tom being Tom. That's just the way he is. He likes to help people. He likes to give a leg up when he can, and I think that's part of what's going on here. And we're super grateful. I was not looking forward to getting a part-time job. It's one of those facts of life. You have to get the bills paid, right? Wasn't looking forward to it because I knew it was going to take away time from doing content. But this is better than I could have possibly imagined. So I'm really looking forward to it. Let's see here. Stretch goal and DJT. We'll talk about this later, brother. I did not want to keep you in the dark about this, and I don't think it's anything you know. We're like I've said, we're going to still keep doing stuff, but not telling you about this was one of the hardest things for me to do. So we'll talk more about it later, JT. Thanks for being here, though, bud. Vanessa, wow, not even 10 minutes in, and I get an ad. Wow, sorry, Vanessa. Sorry. Sam will be the Northwest Annex. That is correct. Let's see. Let's see here. Glad to see you maybe back on the Dice Tower and keeping Flipside. Let's hope they hit the goal. Yep, that's it. Great news. Vanessa Ostrider always has to butt in. Yes, he does. But I've missed him, so I don't mind it at all. Hopefully he didn't. Turtles don't bark on videos, just saying. Oh, man, I gave her some guff when we were talking at Calgary Tabletop Game Day about her owning a turtle. So, yeah, that's true. And although if I owned a turtle, it probably would be a barking turtle. I don't know. Let's see here. Blake Cavaney says, Roy posted about it on IG and I commented, does he know about this? Yes, he does. He actually talked to me about it. He asked me about it on the cruise, and so he sent me a text this morning that was a picture of this. It was the same picture that he shared on IG and on Facebook, and he was like, dude, like he didn't know. And I was like, dude, you knew about this? He's like, well, yeah, but I didn't know it was for sure. And I was like, well, you have to reach the stretch goal first. And he was like, well, yeah, but I didn't know it was like gonna happen. So it was cool to hear from him too. So that's neat. Mills Board Game Room, you need to meet Paul. He is a climber. Oh boy. Turtles just don't do much at all. Jonas Prime, could we possibly see some top 10 lists in the future with Tom, Z, and Mike, with me included? That's a possibility. But one of the things that that Tom and I did talk about was that he just didn't feel like those top 10 lists that they had to do on Zoom or where one of us was remote. It's just not the same. It's much better to do top 10 lists with everybody that's in the same room. So maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll just have to see how that goes. Jordan Ivanko, this is a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate that. It was a surprise for me as well. I I've talked about it in the past where I think I've kind of felt like I kind of ride their coattails a little bit more than I should, and I try not to. If somebody asks about what I do for a living, then I kind of have to talk about my time with the Dice Tower, because, I mean, frankly, all my time that I've been working in the hobby/industry, that has been the lion's share of my time. So I kind of have to talk about it, but I never wanted to be that guy that kind of rested on any laurels, and that's what I try not to do. So we try to do new things, the top 10s and top 100s and stuff like that. That's kind of a broad swath of everybody's doing it, but it's something that I started doing with the Dice Tower, and I even kind of felt kind of weird doing top 10s. Apart from that, but it's kind of accepted content. It's what people do, as content creators for board games. So I always wanted to try to step out on my own, and I think I have. So, but with that being said, there is a feeling of home, that scene in episode, what is it, 7? Episode 7, where Chewie and Han walk into the Falcon for the first time, and Han says, "Chewie, I'm home." Well, that kind of feels, that's kind of what this feels like. It always felt kind of strange being apart from the Dice Tower, because I was part of the Dice Tower for so long. So being a part of being removed from that for necessary reasons, and I don't have any regrets, don't get me wrong, but it's just one of those things where it feels like a homecoming. Definitely does. Let's see here. Backstreet Boys thing was a joke. Still here for you, brother. All right, Ryan. That's cool. Good news, man. Good luck with your transition back. You are such a great addition to that team. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. Appreciate it very much. Going back to the Kickstarter, I'm going to go back to Kickstarter. Let's go. Sweet. Absolutely. No, he's not. He will be remote. Yes, I will be remote. Dice Tower Retreat. That is one of the, I believe that's one of the things that Tom's going to bring me in for. So at least that's something he's already mentioned. What else I might be asked to attend, I don't know. We're just going to have to entertain that whenever it comes in. I will be the Northwest Annex. That is correct. Not moving to Florida for sure. I am trying to make my Northwest boy out of that Texan. That's not going to happen. I do enjoy living up here. I love the climate. I love, I love being here for my kids, and with my wife. But those are the only real connections that I have to the area. And that's not to foreshadow anything at all. It's just, I'm very happy where I'm at. I'm very comfortable where I'm at. Don't want to move. Don't need to move. And I'm very happy that Tom has saw fit to allow me to come back in a remote part-time position. He also asked the rest of the team before he came and talked to me about it. So, and they all gave their approval as well. So, well, I mean, they gave their approval. I don't know if all of them did, or I don't know why they wouldn't. I'll put it that way. None of them. They were all very gracious. They were all very welcoming and accepting while on the cruise and doing shows with them and all that kind of stuff. So. I'm just saying that I don't know if it was unanimous or not, but I do know that he asked them about it before he brought up the proposition, the idea to me. So that's a cool thing, because I would rather if it I would want it to be that way. I wouldn't want to come into a situation where there's, you know, any kind of weird vibes going on, and there isn't, so it's cool. Let's see, Chris, I created a channel just to say I'm really happy to hear you're working to Dice Tower again. Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate it. I just thought about how much I miss you guys together. Thank you. I appreciate that. Was the offer more or less than Patrick Mahomes' current contract? Definitely less. I don't even know how much Patrick Mahomes gets paid. I don't care. But I'm very confident that it was much less. But with that being said, it is very much a gift, and is very much, I said it earlier, a godsend. So I am not, I'm very happy with the number, very happy with what they're going to ask me to do, very happy with what's coming forward. I'm very happy to get back to working with the guys and gals, and looking forward to it, very much so. Things like memoir or undaunted are what I meant. Okay, that's cool, Dave. I appreciate it. Mel's Game Room, LOL. She's talking about Jesse moving. Yeah, let's see here. Conflict Games for the win. Yes, Roy's here. Epic Gaming Night. Roy, good to see you, Roy. Thank you for being here. Robert Pern, Last Light Marathon. Go! Sam made his distaste for Florida weather well known. Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I was just thinking about that today. It began snowing again today, and I was driving around in it, and I was like, yes! I was, where was I? I was at PAX Unplugged when it really snowed the first time, and I missed it because by the time I got back, it was all gone. And then I just missed the last snow that we got just before the cruise. So I was like, I want snow. And so now it's like snowing and it's sticking on the ground and it's all around. And I'm like, yes, I love it. I love it. So very much so, yes. Talk Sam into playing it again. I will. I'm going to, Roy. Any plans for Dice Tower Studio visits for marathon spectaculars? Your guess is as good as mine right now, Dan. I don't know. I would imagine that will happen, but there's no specifics on that kind of stuff right now. We've just talked about the day-to-day that Tom will want me to do for the Dice Tower on a part-time basis. We've not talked about much else other than the day-to-day, and he did mention the Dice Tower retreat, but nothing else this far. Let's see. Chris says, you, Z, and Tom were a major part of the beginning of the board game journey and helped me find great games to play with my family. I was real tired of Catan. I can see how you'd be tired of Catan. Catan, or Catan, as people say today. I started playing it when it was still Settlers of Catan. And they rebranded it as Catan or Catan. So I can totally understand it. It's a great game. And it's great for what it is. It's actually one of the new energy game that Catan has coming out. I'm actually looking forward to giving that one a whirl. So we'll see. Henrik Madsen, I remember watching you, Tom, and Z for the first time after recovering from a car accident, and got into the hobby since I watched you guys 10 years ago. Warms my heart to hear you back. Cool. Thank you, Henrik. That's a cool thing. I like those kinds of connections. So I appreciate that. Thank you. I had a turtle as a kid, Vanessa says. They're not very exciting. I also had a turtle as a kid. And I concur. They are not very exciting. C Rose, can't wait to see the chemistry between Sam, Tom, and Z again, and new chemistry between the new guys and Sam. This is great news. There's still 80K to go. Yep, that is absolutely true. And that's why, 80K is a lot of money, man. That's a lot of ching. So, if it happens, great. And I have no reason to think that it won't. They usually get much more than that. So I'm not concerned about it. I'm just kind of trying to clarify what this means for the flip side, for those of my supporters that are interested or concerned or anything like that. The flip side's not going anywhere. We're going to keep moving forward on the flip side. This is just going to hopefully be something that will allow us, my family, my household, to get the bills paid on a little bit better basis and begin again to start putting some things away so that we can not have to keep dipping into our savings, which we have been doing. Let's see. Mel's board game room. Paul is about the 8-inch. We let him out and walk around. Okay. I would be afraid I would step on him. I would forget he's walking around, and I would just hear a crunch under my feet, and now Paul's no longer with us. That's what I would be concerned with. But kudos for you on letting your turtle walk around the house. Great news, Sam. I'm super hyped. You're amazing. Thank you, Samuel. I appreciate that. Please tell me you will join for top 10s occasionally. Miss those. Well, again, like I said, I don't know for sure exactly what it's going to be like, but I'm definitely open to whatever they want to do, because, like I said, I've always fondly looked back on those times of working with the guys and doing things with them. Roy, was the top 5 recorded? Yep, we have all the live shows from the ship, and they will be going up. Super cool. One God, $5. Thank you, One God 777. Appreciate it. Aussie Solo Gamer says, this is great news, Sam. It has not been the same since you left. Oh, it jumped on me again. There we go. I hope this channel still builds content through, though, mate. Enjoy your channel. It will. And that is a promise that I'm making to you guys. The Flipside is going to continue moving forward. And this part-time work with the Dice Tower is, I think, what's going to help it move forward, because Tom has been very clear. I'll be able to proliferate my channel, even on the videos that I'm putting on their channel. So it'll get more views that way. Hence, that will increase traffic over to the Flipside, and hopefully we'll get some more subscribers out of it and provide more traction, and so forth. So that is absolutely cool. Sequel trilogy reference, Sam. You need to be better than that. Robert, I like it. Man, at the end of the day, it's more Star Wars movies that I get to go watch in a big theater. Period. Hard stop. End of discussion. Do I wish they would have used the extended universe that was already there? Kevin J. Anderson books, Timothy Zahn books. Absolutely. Why didn't they? Why did they feel like they had to do everything they did? Ugh. But at the end of the day, it's more Star Wars movies I get to go watch in the theater, and it's more Star Wars movies I can watch wherever I want. So yeah, I'm going to make sequel movie references every once in a while. So there you have it. Have you watched Dice Tower TV? Love catching up on the older videos, including Sam Year since I joined the Dice Tower after. I have watched a few of the things on Dice Tower TV, and that's a really cool idea. I just wish I had the content. Maybe in a few years I'll be able to do the same thing and just have old videos on my channel getting views, like in the background almost. Maybe sometime in the near future. Well, in the future, not the near future, but sometime in the future I'll be able to do that. What does the Northwest Annex mean? Okay, well, I live in Washington State, Henrik, and Washington State is in a region of the U.S. called the Pacific Northwest. So that's what that means, the Northwest Territory Annex, or the Northwest Annex. It just means that I am going to be doing the work that they're asking me to do remotely. I will not be moving down to Florida to be in the studios down there. I'll be staying up here in Washington State and sending my stuff in to them. That's what that meant. Jonimus Prime, while I understand your sentiment, Sam, I think you've done a pretty good job so far of creating your own unique flavor here on the Flipside channel. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's what we've been trying to do, and that's what we're going to continue doing. That's not changing at all, so I do appreciate that as well. Let's see. OMG, this is great news, Mariano says. Thank you very much, Mariano. I appreciate it. Henrik, Sam, do you ever think we will get a new edition of Memoir 44? I don't think so. I think they might reprint it, but I don't think we'll get a new edition. I think Memoir 44 is pretty good as it is. I don't think it needs to be updated or anything like that, so I don't think that's going to happen. I think it'd be cool, don't get me wrong, if they offered like a big box memoir with all of the expansions in it, or at least the really good expansions. I think that would be great. Vanessa says, it warmed up here significantly and began to rain today. The snow has all melted. Oh, that's actually what it was doing today, yesterday. It was actually raining yesterday and the day before. When we were coming over the passes on Monday after Dante's doctor appointment, it was actually, the roads were clear, wet, and it was raining. A little bit of fog every once in a while on the passes, but generally speaking, it's pretty clear. But ever since then, the entire valley's just been kind of socked in. We haven't seen the sky at all. So we knew the snow that fell today was coming, and I'm pretty sure we have more in store because the clouds really have not lifted at all. We are still overcast, and clouds are really low. So usually that's a precursor to more snowfall. There's a storm that's coming. Let's see here. Blake says, haven't gotten snow here yet. In Tacoma, we usually don't until like March. Wow. Thoughts on the new Theocracy album, Mosaic? Ryan, I really like it. Now, I've only listened to, I think, 3 of the songs from the new album. I haven't downloaded the whole album yet. I've only watched some of the videos that they've made for, I think, 3 of their songs. Flicker is one of them. And I can't remember the names of the others, but I really like it. I think Theocracy is a hidden gem. And the only reason I say hidden is because they just don't have that huge of a following here in America. They have, or here in the States rather, they have a pretty good following, if I remember correctly, in Europe. But here it's less so. But they are such a great band. They're all really good. Let's see here. Mel's Board Game Room, we had negative 47 degrees Celsius. That's negative 52.6. Girl, you need to move. That's capital TOO cold. Too cold. Zachary. Oh wait. Vanessa, where do you live, Mel? Siberia? Zachary Valentine says, do you think it was more unexpected for you to get a tattoo or Tom? I did not expect Tom to get a tattoo. I really did not. That blew me out of the water when I read about that. I've always wanted to get a tattoo. I was always a bit more metal than Tom was. That's an understatement. So from my perspective, at least, I would have thought that I would get a tattoo before Tom did. When Tom said that he was getting a tattoo, even if it was, the little meeple thing that he got, I was like, what? That was, that's one of those jaw droppers when he said he was going to do that. So I thought that was pretty funny. Henrik, we just played last night 4 weeks ago and have played it 4 times. Awesome game. That's cool. Alberta, Canada. Might as well be Siberia. Except there's more hockey where she is. Which is a good thing. Twister4815 says, I still watch the old top 10s with you, Tom, and Z almost every day. You guys were just awesome. Thank you very much. I really enjoy it. And I really enjoyed those times as well. I still can remember the goodbye video in Dice Tower from you, Z, and Tom. This was emotional. I'm very happy you'll work together again soon. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Love from India. Thank you, Rishi. Appreciate it. Rob Trotter. I don't even watch the Dice Tower anymore. I just don't care for any of the personalities there. I love this channel, though. Well, thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. I really enjoy all the people that are there. There's nobody that I really have a reason to dislike, I guess. Now, I get it. There's, and JT hates this phrase, but it's something I've just grown up saying, different strokes for different folks, you know? I mean, it's, people like different things. That's all I mean by that. So I get it. I understand. And I appreciate that you enjoy the flip side. And I'm glad that you're here, as with everybody else. I really am. But I at the same time, I still think that the Dice Tower is doing a really great job, and the people they have working there are all great people. Rob, I'm glad you enjoyed. Yeah, there you go. Thank you for saying that, Jesse. I still remember Sam's final Q&A on the Dice Tower. He started to cry a little, which made me cry. Well, yeah, it's. I was definitely in a different spot then. I was probably crying a little bit for a number of different reasons, not just because I had to leave the Dice Tower, but there was a lot going on that you know, it just made being on the Dice Tower really hard, and it was kind of a relief to leave, in a sense, because I knew I was going back to be with my kids and to be able to see them on a more regular basis, and that was where it was a release. That's where it was a relief, where it was something that I was very much looking forward to. But, and I've said it many times, I don't miss anything in Florida. I don't miss the weather. I don't miss the heat. I don't miss any of that, but I do miss the people. And I've always kind of said that. I've always missed the people. And, you know, I'm not moving back there, but I'll be able to do more things with them from time to time. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, the difference between then and now, night and day. And hopefully the content that I add to the Dice Tower, should we reach that stretch goal, again, not trying to count my chickens before they hatch, I hope will be a good thing for them as well. Let's see here. I got into watching Roland Rate says, I got into watching the Dice Tower after you had already left, so this is exciting. Oh, cool. Very good. Thank you. Rishi, I got many board games following your recommendations. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm glad to help, and that's one of the cool things about content creation, is that we can help guide people to the good stuff, to the stuff that they hopefully will like. Finding a content creator that really kind of aligns well with your likes and dislikes is a good thing. So when you can find that, it's really cool to follow them and to get more recommendations from them. I bought Blood Rage. Well, wait, missing something. Sorry. Big Box Memoir 44 would be super cool. You are absolutely correct. We will get a new. Will we get a new edition of Memoir? We will get a new edition of Memoir when they make TI7. Oh man, I hope they don't make TI7. I can't spend any more money on that game. Mariano, LOL. Samuel, I bought Blood Rage because of Sam, and it is one of my favorite games. Very cool. I'm not exaggerating when I say we don't get snow until March. Oh yeah, I know. I know you guys got some pretty nasty weather last week when we were on the cruise. Jesse's parents are on Whidbey Island, and they were talking about how cold it was up there, which is, for Whidbey Island, is unheard of. So you guys got hit with some pretty nasty weather, but I know it hasn't been snowing yet. Let's see here. My favorite songs off of Mosaic Flicker, yes. Sinsidious, Dogs of War, and Anonymous Deified, sorry. Tom has 2 tattoos. He also has his wife. Oh, I didn't know that. Tom hates metal. Yes, he does, which is fine. He has the right to be wrong in that respect. Hi, Sam and chat. Steph VE is here. Hello. Good to see you. What part of Washington are you in again? My mom lives in Marble Mount. It's not snowing yet. I don't think yet today. I have no idea where Marble Mount is. My wife Jessie would probably say, "Oh, I know where that's it. We're 53.5 miles away from you." I have no idea. We are basically right smack dab in the middle of the state, Wenatchee Valley, Wenatchee. is about 3 hours away from everything in Washington. I can get almost anywhere within 3 hours within the state. We are as close to in the middle of the state as you can possibly imagine. If you look it up, you'll see. Gotta go eat dinner. See you later, Vanessa. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Kabuki Kid, hello, hello. Thank you for being here. Happy to hear the Dice Tower news. Thank you, Kabuki. We appreciate you. Sam, this is off topic, Mariana says. Sorry, but I'm a metalhead too, and I'd love to know about your top 3 metal bands. No pressure. Oof. Top 3 metal bands. I think right now, because it's a cross section, you really kind of have to talk about things in, things fluctuate. That's all I'm saying. So right now, I think probably Theocracy, Sabaton, and Theocracy, Sabaton, and Striper of all bands. And the reason I say that is because Striper is known for how they were in the 80s and 90s, super hair metal, super hairsprayed, tight leather, spandex, yellow and black everywhere. They still have the yellow and black stuff, but they have matured greatly over the years. Michael Sweet's voice has actually, I think, gotten better with age than it ever was. And their music making ability is just still really good. And I even like some of their new stuff much better than their old stuff. So that's probably a distant third for me. But yeah, that's some good stuff. Thank you for that question, Mariano. Henrik, Sam, do you know if Eric is doing an expansion or a new Blood Rage? I have heard a lot of this the last couple of years. I've heard rumblings. That Eric is doing a new edition of Blood Rage. So I don't know for sure, but I feel like it's coming. And I hope he doesn't mess with it too much. Because in my opinion, Blood Rage was by far the better game out of that trilogy of games. Blood Rage, Rising Sun, and Ankh. I think Blood Rage was by far the better of those 3. There were basically a singular thing in the other 2 that I just didn't like. Didn't like the negotiation part of, the negotiation part of the combat mechanism. No, it's not negotiation. It was more like betting almost, the wagering. I didn't like that part of Rising Sun, and I didn't like the catch-up mechanic of where the 3rd and 4th players combine, Egyptian powers unite. I didn't like that. So, but I like everything that Blood Rage has in it. Everything. There's nothing I dislike about the game, honestly. So I really hope he doesn't mess with it too much. If he does make an updated version of it, I wouldn't mind a lot more clarifications in the rule books about how rules work together and all that kind of stuff. So that kind of updating, and maybe putting everything that's available in one box, that would be really cool. Because I don't think I have everything for it. Maybe I do. I think I do, but I'm not absolutely sure. I didn't get the new stuff when they did the Kickstarter for the app. I didn't pack that, so I didn't get any of that new stuff that came. So it would be cool to have it all in the same box. Let's see here. Rolling rate. We are stuck inside all last week in North Alabama. Got a lot of games played though. Cool. Yeah, Alabama. They don't know what to do with snow, do they? I don't know. Are you guys getting snow? I know that there have been a lot of. I haven't really been keeping up on the news, so I apologize, but. I know that there have been a lot of really cold weather in the States. So, Iron Maiden, duh. Well, Iron Maiden's great. Don't get me wrong. But some of their, how can I say this? Their music is iconic, period, full stop. But I like a little bit more of a chugga chugga in my metal than Iron Maiden put up. They were much more melodic in their guitar playing, and I don't mind that, but having that driving is what I really enjoy, and that's one of the reasons why I like Theocracy, because it has a lot of that in there, but they also are very melodic as well. Mel's Board Gamer Metal in my house lately was Leo's version of Christmas songs. Does that count? Probably not. Tom hates metal. What kind? Steel, gold, titanium? He hates tens. Yes, he does. Absolutely hates tens. He hates music metal too. Yeah, I heard second edition is coming. Not sure how true that is. For Blood Rage, yes. I have heard it too. So we'll just have to wait and see. Blood Rage, best of that trilogy, hands down for sure. Absolutely agree. John Kavanaugh, hi Sam, both you and Rob Oren got me and my daughter into painting and playing Imperial Assault when you did battling brushes. Thanks for the content, as it has given me great memories with her. That's super cool to hear, John. Thank you. That's really cool. I love those kinds of stories, because it's those kinds of connections that really make all the other stuff worth it. That's one of the reasons why I liked going to conventions so much. It wasn't so much of getting away from, definitely wasn't getting away from my family. Hated having to leave my family behind most of the time. But to hear from fans, and to hear those kinds of stories from fans, where, the stuff that we're doing, in a studio or in our houses or in our painting rooms, with just us and a camera, and how that kind of translated into you guys being able to find a hobby that you could enjoy together, and those memories, that's A plus, man. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. Rolling rate last week was single digit temps. I don't know how much snow, but today it's 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. Mariano, thanks for your answer, Sam. Now, how come no metal band got named Blood Rage? I don't know. Maybe it was licensing or something like that. I have no idea. We need a Viking metal band called Blood Rage. Somebody contact Eric about that. Just got Cheating Moths. Can't wait to play it. I know my cousin-in-law will love it. Cheating Moths. Henrik says, I love Blood Rage, but I love Ankh as well. Rising Sun, I want to like it more than I do. Have you played any of the more modern God of War games, the ones that focus on the Norse gods? No, I haven't. I've heard that Ankh is really good with two players, and so I think that's going to be one of the games that Jesse and I play two-player on the Flipside here pretty soon. I've played Ankh once. It was a 4-player game. I was one of the. I think I was the 4th player. I think I was barely in 4th place, but 3rd and 4th place were really close together in the game that I played, and we combined and commenced to trouncing 2nd place. And 2nd place was doing really, really good, so I felt really bad for him in that game, because he just got trounced, didn't have a chance of catching 1st place. So it really only helped 1st place solidified their victory. It didn't really do anything other than that, because I mean, if we would have had maybe 1.5, maybe 2 more rounds, we probably would have caught 1st place and won. But as it was, us combining didn't really help us at all. It walloped 2nd place, and it solidified 1st place victory. I just didn't like that. But in this 2-player version of the game, that mechanism is out. So it's just the game that is part of it. So I am tentatively assuming that I'll like Ankh much better as a 2-player game, and not very much as a 3rd and 4th player game. Fun video games. Cheating Moths is a Uno style card game, but you're allowed to cheat so you can drop a card on the floor down your shirt. You're trying not to get caught. Oh my goodness. I would be horrible at that game, I think. I am not. I'm not good at purposefully cheating. I cheat all the time on accident because I don't remember the rules correctly, but I do not. I do like an Egyptian theme. That is one of the things that I do like about Ankh. I do like the Egyptian theme. I think the Egyptian Pantheon, I think is what it's called. I think that is, well, that's one of the things that I really enjoy about it. I think there's a lot of cool things you can do with it. But at the same time, that catch-up mechanism in a 3 or 4 player game is just brutal for the people that are left. Sounds like Filch the game. What games do you think have essential expansion? I just bought 3,000 Scoundrels and expansion after I played it. Makes the game so good. On accident for saves. The Valhalla and the Valhalla and Mountains expansion. I can't remember the name of the second expansion. There's 2 expansions for Champions of Midgard, and the Dark Mountains and Valhalla expansions for Champions of Midgard. I think those are have to. They make that game so much better. It's a good game anyway. Base game is great. Don't get me wrong, but what those 2 expansions adds to it is amazing. So I think that's definitely a thing. We were talking about Memoir 44 earlier. I think that definitely has some expansions that you should get if you can. Primarily the Eastern Front and Mediterranean Theater expansions, and the Eastern Front expansions, and the Desert Snow map. Those are the 4 expansions that I think you really should get with a copy of Memoir 44. I would even go so far as to say, if you can, buy 2 copies of the base game, so you have enough of those of the German and American forces to do, a D-Day, Overlord scenarios. Fee is here. Hello, Fee. You could play it by not cheating. One player can cheat and is trying to catch the others. If you ever make it to a Dice Tower event in the future, I need you to teach me the Roman outhouse game that you used to champion on the channel. I still own that. It's called Pecunia non Olet. Pecunia non Olet, it's Latin for money doesn't stink. Yes, the Roman bathhouse game, absolutely. Actually, it's the Roman outhouse game. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Nightwatch Games, greeting everyone. Hello, Sam. Hello, Nightwatch Games. I believe that's either Porrick or Brenda. Hello. Good to see you. I've sent a couple of my subscribers your way. Hopefully they said hi for me. But missing you guys, and glad to continue seeing on Facebook how well you're doing. So keep it up. Thank you for being friends, and hopefully you just keep rocking it. Hope we make it a bit earlier this time. Good expansion recommendation for a memoir. Thank you. Air Pack 2. Yeah, the new Air Pack. The old Air Pack is not worth it. But the new one, I can't remember the name of it, is definitely worth it. Yes, absolutely. You said Eastern Front expansion twice. Did I? Eastern Front, Pacific. Yeah, I'm sorry. Eastern Front, Pacific, Mediterranean, Snow and Desert, and a second copy of the base game. And one more thing, the one that came with all of the bits. I can't remember what it was called now. The equipment pack. There you go. The equipment pack. So that's the 6 things that you should buy. after you buy the base game. You can take a second base game out of it and still have a good time. But 5 or 6 things. The old air pack is obsolete now. Yep, absolutely is. New flight plan. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. When are we going to get a live play of the poop game? All right, fine. It'll happen. Live play of the poop game. We have to throw some logs about. Do you have any opinions about SFG announcing they are going to reinstate Guild Ball as a product line? No, I don't have any opinions about that. Other than I like Blood Bowl better. And I like, I thought Guild Ball was a good game. I enjoyed it, but I like Blood Bowl better. And and I really like Blitz Bowl better than Blood Bowl. So I thought Guild Ball was great, but I think it's inferior to Blood Bowl. And I know one's soccer, one's football. I get it, but I wouldn't be able to justify owning both, if I can put it that way. It's pretty much all there is, Hannah. We demand more poop. Well, I'm happy to oblige. Let's see here. Am I the only one missing the old FFG? Well, no, because I miss the old FFG too. Because I thought the old FFG had a lot more going for it. It seems, and it just seems like anything that comes out Fantasy Flight now is Star Wars. Or Star Wars. Oh, but wait, there's also Star Wars. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. But I think that the old FFG had a lot more going for it than the new one does. But that's just me as a consumer talking. Did you talk about Prospero Hall yet? Not really. I think it's a tragedy. I really do. I really don't like that Goliath just kind of laid off everybody when they purchased Funko Games. I mean, I guess the silver lining is going to be that those games are still going to be available through Goliath. I did read that, but I think it's pretty crappy that all those brains, all those minds got laid off. They put out some great stuff. Prospero Hall was a great think tank, and you know, the games weren't like, you know, super heavy gamer games, but they were great for families. They were great for people who wanted that nostalgia from those movies back in the day, and to have them kind of go by the wayside is kind of sad. So I don't know what Goliath's going to do with that Funko Games line, but hopefully maybe they're going to rehire some of those people that they laid off, and they just had to lay them off as part of the acquisition. But I don't know. Right now, it just kind of stinks. I don't think that's going to be the case, because a couple of people that I'm connected to on Facebook have made very pretty determinate posts about the fact that they were without a job. So we'll see. Yeah, it was kind of a sour point. That was a hard pill to swallow over the course of the cruise. Someone from the USA made me 3D components for my Memoir 44, and they are amazing. Bridge, barracks, and trees. Memoir looks so good now. That's cool. How do you like Massive Darkness 2? That game is the closest to D&D in a box as I know. Sword and Sorcery is not bad from Ares Games. I think Sword and Sorcery is probably probably closer to a role-playing game than Massive Darkness 2 Hellscape, but I really enjoy Massive Darkness 2 Hellscape. We played it. We played it on the cruise, and I really enjoyed it. Now, we did play a 5-player game of it, and I don't think I'll ever do that again. There was a lot of downtime because each person's turn does take a long time. And doing 5 players was just like, I could easily get up, go to the bathroom, go get a drink of water, and come back and still be waiting for my turn to come around. And so that was kind of a detractor. But I really enjoyed the mechanisms, and I really enjoyed how each character plays differently than the other ones. I really enjoyed that. So I think I'll probably enjoy it more as maybe a 2 or a 3-player game, but not really as a 5. But I really did enjoy it. Really had a fun time with it, and I think JT was going to be bringing it over for us to play on the channel as well. So we'll be looking forward to that. Maybe they should switch from Star Wars to Star Trek. I don't think that would help them very much, honestly. Not that I dislike Star Trek. I'm one of those rare birds that like both Star Wars and Star Trek. I definitely like Star Wars better, just because it's more fantastical, and Star Trek is more science-y and bleh, whatever. But I don't think having a Star Trek IP would help FFG very much. Love their Jaws game and Horrified. Yep, absolutely. Violent Frog, hey Sam, looking good. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, hey, we're still alive. We're still alive. Yes, we are, but not for very long. I do have to go get the kids. I have to go pick up Aiden and take him to his strength and conditioning practice. I like both Trek and Star Wars. Yep. Never seen any Star Wars movies. Show somehow. What? Rolling rate. Stop the press. Oh my. You need to go watch some stuff. I was going to say just go straight to Disney Plus, but don't do that. You need to watch other stuff before you watch all that stuff that Disney Plus does. But you need to watch some Star Wars stuff now. Stop hurting yourself. Chris Bartales, hey. What's up here? Yes, my brother. Hope all is well. Yes. Gotta go. See you later, Blake. Thanks for being here, buddy. You are a rare creature. Hey, Sam, the hockey jersey guy from PAX here. Hey, Dave, good to see you. Loving your content. Starts to keep it up. Thank you so much, Dave. I appreciate that. Bendova. Great meeting you on the cruise, brother. It was good meeting you too, Ben. Thanks for doing that. I appreciate it. Do you think any of us backers will ever see a copy of Six Siege? I do not know, Ian. I'll say it again here. I also saw another person posting on the Dice Tower Kickstarter, for crying out loud. I have not worked for Mythic Games since May. Is it May, right? Yeah, I think so. Since May of 2022. So we're going on almost 2 years now that I haven't worked for Mythic Games. So I have no idea of what's going on. And frankly, when I worked for them, I was in a non-decision making role within the company. I did my absolute best to make sure that anything I said was as truthful as it was, and that sounds like I'm making a disparaging mark against them. I am not. I did everything I could to make sure that we communicated truth when I was the U.S. Community Director, and I believe that we did. I think the proverbial crap hit the fan, and there was nothing they could really do about it afterwards. And now they're just trying to do the best they can to try to get everything delivered. But I say all that to say this: I have no idea. I have no idea at all. And I want to make it absolutely clear that I have not been part of Mythic Games for going on almost 2 years now. And the reason I want to make sure that's clear is because I actually had a couple of people ask me on the cruise just last week, "Are you still with Mythic Games?" And I'm like, no. Hello. So there you go. That I feel like I know most of the story from general pop culture things, but I know I've missed tons of references too. Yes, absolutely. Love your content. Blink625 says, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see here. As close to the theatrical versions as possible of the original trilogy. I agree. OG Star Wars when Jabba still had legs. I don't think they actually did. They put out a version where they had the dude that was like looked like a fur trader as Jabba. Did they release that? I don't think they did. I think the special edition just had that CG Jabba in there, which I didn't mind, by the way. I loved the fact how awkward it looked when Han walked over him, though. That was super funny. They screwed you, my man. You should have stayed with the tower. Well, I couldn't. And thank you for saying that. I really do not think they screwed me, to use your terminology. Both Benoit and Leo are good dudes from my experience with them. They never did anything that I look back on and say, you know, I wish they wouldn't have treated me that way. I've never thought that before. Even when they laid me off, that was something that they had to do. It was, you can say what you want about they had to do it because they had made bad decisions or whatever, not going down that road, but they had to make that decision. And I truly believe that if they didn't have to, they wouldn't have. They never treated me bad. Never, ever. And while I was there, and the reason I say that is because that's the only thing I ever had control over. We always tried to communicate as much as we possibly could and as accurately as we possibly could. That's something that I took very seriously. And so I stand behind everything that I ever said. It hasn't panned out, but and that's the unfortunate thing about it. You know, I took what they gave me to say, and I put it in as accurate and as truthful a ways as I possibly could. That was my job, and I stand by that. I don't have any kind of a guilty conscience about any time that I spent working for Mythic Games. I did the job as best as I could, and I think it's sad that they're in the spot that they're in right now, because they've got some great, and I mean some great games. Super thematic games. Every single one of the games that they had, this is why I loved working for Mythic, every single one of their games I like. At the very least, I like it. Now, there are some games that I loved. There were some that I just liked. I'll play that. Yeah, that's cool. It is what it is. I couldn't stay with the Dice Tower. That was pre-COVID, before people started working remotely, before that became the norm. And there just wasn't a remote position in the Dice Tower. And it wasn't even something we even thought about. So when I was moving away from Florida, I had to leave the Dice Tower. It wasn't something I wanted to do, and I don't think, although I was in a different spot, and it was more difficult working for me then than I think it will be in the future or now. I don't think they wanted me to leave. I don't think Tom wanted me to leave, but he knew that I needed to be with my kids. So I didn't want to leave, but I had to leave. And Mythic Games helped me in a tremendous way to make that move possible. They've always done right by me, and so I'm not going to talk bad about them at all. I'm just not going to do it because there's a lot of things that are assumed that they did bad, and it's just not correct. All right. Let's see here. I'm looking forward to the 2 new Unmatched Witcher games coming out this year. What IP would you like to see added to the format? I think Star Wars would be a great IP added to that format. I really do. Maybe you should make a short pinned video about not working for Mythic anymore. I'm probably going to end up doing that because that's cool. Let's see here. Used to always bug Tom to do more live stuff. Originally, he was resistant, but he changed his tune. Eventually, I wore him down. I changed his mind. Good job. I miss you, Tom and Z's banter. Yep, I do too. Love that sticker on that laptop, brother. Yeah. You know what's up. These are the new stickers that I got into for the Flipside. So the bear face started to wear off on my Bears mug. So I just slapped a good old Flipside sticker on there. So that's cool. Shout out Red Barn. Love that sticker. Yes, Little Red Barn. Yes, love it. All right, well, listen, I got to go pick up my son to get him to strength and conditioning for football. So I'm going to get out of here, but hopefully that helps clarify some of the stuff that's going on. If they make their $380,000 stretch goal, I will be joining the Dice Tower part-time in a remote position. I will be staying up here in the Pacific Northwest in Washington State, and I'll be sending them basically 2.5 videos a week. I'll be doing a review a week. I'll be doing a segment for Smorgasbord. I'll also be doing a series of my choosing, and then they'll also be pulling me into some of the Dice Tower events over the course of the year. So that's what's happening. Let's hit that $380,000 mark on their Kickstarter so we can get this truck moving, y'all. Thanks for joining me. I certainly appreciate it. I got to get out of here, though. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side and possibly the Dice Tower. Take care. Yes, I am from San Antonio. It is my hometown. Lived, born, raised. See y'all later.